Hello. For today's art lesson, we're going to talk about warm and cool colors. And our artwork is going to be in the style of the early pop art, 1960s, 1970s, psychedelic disco kind of art. So it's just going to be a fun little project with lots of color. What you'll need today is a piece of paper, a pencil to draw with, a black crayon, marker, ink pen, something you can outline with. And then you will need one warm color to color with. And remember, our warm colors are the colors that make us think of things that are warm, like the sun. And so you'll need one of either red, yellow, or orange, but you will need three cool colors. So I've chosen as my colors orange for my warm color and blue, green, and purple for my cool colors. Now you can choose whatever warm color you want to work on your project. Now with your pencil and on your piece of paper, in the center of it, I want you to draw a large just outline. No details, just an outline of a person or an animal. If you want to draw a spaceship, that's a rocket ship, that's fine. It can be vertical. If you look, I've drawn a person kind of raising the roof kind of look, or it can be horizontal. I drew my puppy dog. What you're going to do after you've drawn it out, do you notice how big it is? I've made these nice and large in the middle of the paper. And what you're going to do is with whatever black you have, whether it's a crayon, a marker, or even an ink pen, you're going to outline it. That just means trace over the pencil lines. Once you've outlined it, you fill in your shape, just your shape only, with your warm color. Once you've finished that, it will look something similar to this. You see how I've outlined it in black and I've filled in my shape with my warm color. Now comes the fun part where we take our cool colors. And what we're going to do is create a pattern with our cool colors. And we're just going to trace around our shapes with lines, but we're going to space them a little bit apart. A little bit apart. So I'm going to start off with my blue. I'm using markers today to make it go quickly. And I'm going to trace around it. I'm going to leave a little bit of white showing, but I'm going to trace around my shape just with my blue. Now remember, choose your cool colors. And if you remember what our cool colors are, they are definitely blue, green, and purple. And they make us think of cool things, especially like white. White has a tendency to remind us of things like ice or snow, and that always reminds us that things are cool. Okay, I've taken my blue and I've gone around my shape. Do you see how I left a little space around the edges? But I tried to follow the shape. Where it goes down, I went down, and where it goes up, I went up. Where it flips out, I gave myself a little hairdo. I tried to follow that. Then what I'm going to do is go to my second cool color and leave a little space, but trace around the shape again too. I'm going to leave a little space between the blue and my green line. and continue all around my shape, following where it goes. If it goes around, it goes up or down. I'm trying hard not to touch my first line, but not leave a big giant space in between my lines. But I'm still trying to follow my first blue line with a little bit of space in between. Now you will find after a while things get pretty tight in some spaces. If you notice, like right in here, it's starting to get a little bit tight, and there'll come a point where we can't get in that anymore, and we'll have to stop up here and keep going around. Okay, my third color is going to be the purple. And remember, what's my deal with the cap on the back so we don't lose our caps. Gonna try to go in there. Oh, they had to touch because there just wasn't any space left. And we're gonna keep tracing around. And if they accidentally touch each other, well, that's life. Okay, you will notice that it couldn't quite go down in this area, it just ran out of room. And this one, they ended up touching each other, but that's okay. What you're going to continue to do is keep tracing around it. When it runs off the page, you'll just pick it up where it needs to go until your whole thing is filled up with a repeating pattern of colors. So I've done my 3. I would start with my first color again, which is the blue. And then I do another line of blue, and then another line of green, and another line of purple, and just keep repeating that until I have filled up the entire paper. And when it's finished, it's going to look like this. This just so reminds me of the artwork that was done in the 1960s and 70s. You saw this all over the place. It almost looks like they're vibrating. Well, I hope you have fun with this project. It's quick, it's easy, you learn a little art history. We've talked about our warm and cool colors. Doesn't the warm color of the person seem to jump out at you? That's why artists make a difference between warm and cool colors. Cool colors tend to what they call recede or back away from you, where the warm colors tend to come towards you. So if you're an artist and you want people to pay attention to something, you put a lot of warm colors in it and you surround it with some cool colors. And that will help draw your eye to that point of interest. Well, I hope you have fun today. Remember, run it off the edge of the paper, continue it around, fill it up, and have a good time doing some artwork that was inspired from the 1960s and 1970s. Now next week, I'm going to give you a little hint. I need you to save some things for me. I want to do a 3-dimensional sculpture with you. However, I know we may not all have the same materials. But our artwork is going to be inspired by something I got from Chick-fil-A the other day in the drive-thru. It was a long drive-thru. I got one of their drink boxes. And this is the perfect type of board. This, or like a shoebox, or even a cereal box. Save it for me for next week, because we're going to create a 3-dimensional sculpture out of it. One that you can create the sculpture, take it apart, make an entirely different one. So have fun with today's artwork for this week, that little vibrating figure. And we'll see you next week. Stay safe, keep creating, have fun. Bye.